What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. WWE News and Rumors for the week ending October 6th, 2013. Now, I want to formally apologize to everyone in Team JD for not doing a Monday Night Raw review for this week's show. Now, the reason why I didn't do it is because, number one, I thought the show was incredibly dull and boring, number one, and I've always said, if you guys are following me on Twitter, if Raw does not excite me, I'm not excited to bring you a review because it's just going to be all negative, and I don't want to be all negative. Number two, I really haven't been feeling myself lately. I really haven't, and I don't know if it's just like a little bout of depression. I'm very stressed out. I got both of my grandparents, not doing well. My grandma is in the nursing home for the next 6 to 8 weeks in rehabilitation because she actually broke her leg. So I've been worried about that. My grandpa's all alone with 24-hour nurse aides. And then obviously I got my Atlanta Braves in the playoffs, and I'm stressed about that. They lost Game 1 and won Game 2 tonight. I'm actually recording this for you guys on Friday night. It's almost about 10:30 here in New York City, but that's the reason why. I just don't feel up to it, and when I'm not feeling good personally, I don't want to take it out on you guys and disappoint you, but I'm just not feeling up to it, and I hope you guys understand. I got an action-packed, I got a fully loaded show this week, and of course, you guys know, and I'm making it true every single week, this place right here on YouTube, JD's channel. My channel is going to be the absolute best place for WWE News and Rumors on YouTube. Why? Because I know that it's best for business. Fuck those other guys. I don't know what happened to Sean's View, but he's not around anymore. So I'm taking the reins right now. And like I said, fuck those other guys. Don't listen to them. You tell your friends, you tell your friends' friends to come to my channel. This is the place to be for WWE News and Rumors. So I want to start off, guys. First of all, news on Damien Sandow. Now, we all know Damien Sandow is the Money in the Bank briefcase holder. He's Mr. Money in the Bank for Smackdown. Now, WWE creative writers are considering giving Mr. Money in the Bank Damien Sandow a run with the World Heavyweight Championship in large part due to Rob Van Dam's questionable future with the organization. Now, it has been reported that RVD has not agreed to a new contract with the WWE. However, other organization sources claim that he has indeed signed a deal where he continuously works 3 months and then takes 3 months off. Nonetheless, he is expected to disappear from WWE programming shortly after Sunday's Battleground pay-per-view event. The reason the belt may wind up in the arms of Sandow is because it would instantly lead to a feud with Del Rio, and creative wants the Mexican wrestler to be continuously featured in a top program. Another idea batted around is Van Dam winning the strap from Del Rio, with Sandow immediately cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase at Battleground to capture the World Heavyweight Championship. However, some people in WWE feel this idea is unlikely to occur since it happened just 2 months ago at SummerSlam. Now, I am against the last part of that news article that I just read you. I do not want RVD winning the title and then Sandow cashing it in. That was the perfect opportunity for the last pay-per-view, that Night of Champions, okay? That was the setup there. I thought that was actually going to happen, but it did not happen, okay? RVD won by disqualification. Damien Sandow with the Money in the Bank briefcase, we all know he's going to win the World Heavyweight Championship. It's just a matter of when and how. Now, Sandow with a run with the World Heavyweight Championship should be great for SmackDown. It should add a different piece to the puzzle. It should make Damien Sandow slowly become that major player as a heel on SmackDown and in WWE in general, because I love his character. I think he is perfect for that role. He's great in the ring. He knows how to get heel heat. But I don't know how this is going to work with Del Rio. I really don't know how this is going to work with Del Rio. I don't want to see a Sandow versus Del Rio feud. Who are you going to feud Sandow with? There's not many faces right now on SmackDown that are World Heavyweight Championship worthy, unless you maybe throw Christian in there. RVD, RVD's contract here is fucking everything up, to be honest with you. The 3 months back and then taking another 3 months off and not returning until at least the Royal Rumble, that's gonna hurt the product. It's gonna take the momentum away from the product, and it's going to dwindle down the main event stars on SmackDown to pretty much nothing. There's nobody there. WWE obviously doesn't see Ziggler as a World Championship contender. I would love to see Sandow versus Ziggler. I don't know about you guys. RVD's going away. Who else you got? Nobody. Sheamus is out. Christian is the only other one. Who are you going to build up? Del Rio is the only one, unless you have Rey Mysterio come back. But who the fuck wants to see Rey Mysterio come back and be inserted into the World Championship picture? I don't. Smackdown is, it's in trouble in my opinion. If Van Dam is going to actually go away after Battleground, who's going to fight for that World Championship? Sandow and Del Rio? I don't want to be bored to tears with that for the next 3 months. But Sandow with the World Heavyweight Championship, in my honest opinion, is definitely best for business. I can't wait to see that happen. Good luck to Damien Sandow on that. I've been waiting for that. And ever since I seen him step foot in the ring, I knew he was going to be a major player because he's got that look. He's got that heel character working for him. And like I said, he's definitely one of the better ones in the ring in WWE. WWE officials have had a lot of discussions about Daniel Bryan winning the WWE 2014 Royal Rumble. Officials reportedly have plans figured out through Survivor Series storyline-wise and have some main event plans in mind for the Rumble. Now, I heard earlier in the year that CM Punk might be winning the Royal Rumble. Now, this report this week saying that Daniel Bryan may win the Royal Rumble. So if Daniel Bryan wins the Royal Rumble, if this is the idea that they're pitching, Daniel Bryan's not going to win the not the World Heavyweight Championship, but the WWE Championship this year. He's not going to win the WWE Championship because if he's going to win the Royal Rumble, obviously he's going to go on to WrestleMania and fight for the WWE Championship. Why are you going to give him the WWE Championship and then, have him lose it again only to win the Royal Rumble and then win it at WrestleMania? It doesn't make sense to me. I think CM Punk, we all want CM Punk back in the WWE title picture, which he eventually is going to be there because he's CM Punk. He needs to be there. I would have CM Punk win the Royal Rumble. I would have Daniel Bryan, capture the WWE Championship in exciting fashion, defeat the corporation, take down Triple H, and then have Triple H feud with Vince and have that lead into WrestleMania. You got Daniel Bryan, the WWE Champion and the face of the company. You have CM Punk win the Royal Rumble, and then you have Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. You can't get any better than that. We can hold off on Stone Cold Steve Austin and CM Punk, because that's the match everybody wants to see. Everyone's saying, oh, no, let's do CM Punk versus Stone Cold. And I'm not going to lie to you, I was lobbying for that match too, but Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk at WrestleMania, can you imagine the classic, the instant 5-star classic that we would get on the main stage at WrestleMania between those two? That's two Ring of Honor guys that came from the independent scene, now fighting for the biggest championship in professional wrestling on the biggest event of all time, WrestleMania 30. You don't get any bigger than that, guys. You really don't. Stone Cold can go. He's ready to go. It's all going to come down to a money issue. Stone Cold can be part of the show, if you want to include him in the Vince angle and have Vince hire him instead of Shawn Michaels. But there's so many different routes that the WWE can go here. I gave you my road to WrestleMania with Shawn Michaels. I think Shawn Michaels should get involved in this Triple H Corporation thing. I'm hearing that he may get involved, but I don't know. They're all over the place right now. Who knows what they're going to do? That's the best thing about WWE TV right now. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Each week with this storyline, there's always something new. But Daniel Bryan winning the Royal Rumble, I'm not for that. I would rather have CM Punk win the Royal Rumble, have Daniel Bryan the WWE Champion going into WrestleMania, and then CM Punk and Daniel Bryan collide, because they have a history together. They were from the same independent organization together to fight at WrestleMania 30 on the biggest stage of them all for that grand prize. That's the way I would do it. There had been talk of having Brock Lesnar work Hell in the Cell or Survivor Series this year, but word now is that Lesnar will not be back until closer to the end of 2013, just in time for the Royal Rumble. We all know that Brock Lesnar is going to be a major part of WrestleMania for the next couple of years, so having him back in time for the Royal Rumble is obviously the way to go. I don't know who you would have him work with if you put him in Hell in the Cell or Survivor Series. Survivor Series might work just to sell that pay-per-view a little bit, have him on Team Heyman against CM Punk. I don't know, but, Brock Lesnar, I would like to see him at Survivor Series, but the concrete plan right now for WWE is to have him back in time for the Royal Rumble and going into WrestleMania with a major program again this year. Now, speaking of WrestleMania also, The Undertaker reportedly had hip surgery recently and may not be returning to action at the Survivor Series like WWE wants. Word is that he's limping around now, but is still pushing for a match right now against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30. So, I've been lobbying again for The Undertaker to be at Survivor Series. If he can go, he should go. Kane and Undertaker, the Brothers of Destruction against the Wyatt family at Survivor Series. That's got classic Survivor Series match written all over it. That's the way I would do it. But if The Undertaker can't go, obviously he wants the match against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30. But who the hell knows what's going to happen at WrestleMania? There's so many things going on right now in the wrestling world. You got Hulk Hogan out of a contract with TNA. You got TNA on the brink of just closing the doors down completely. Dixie Carter and the Carter family just selling the company. You got Sting, who's going to be a free agent in January. Who knows if he's going to end up at WrestleMania? There's just so much things going on right now in the wrestling world. I wouldn't bet anything on any of these stories I'm telling you. I'm just telling you because they're interesting. I'm telling you because you guys follow me for wrestling news. I'm giving you the most up-to-date news, and I'm giving you my opinions on everything that I read back to you guys. But right now, The Undertaker wants Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. That's the match we've been hearing about for the last year and a half. So if that does happen, I would not be surprised. But like I said, take everything I say with a grain of salt. Also on The Undertaker, WWE has recently been posting cryptic tweets about The Undertaker. I did, a story on this a couple of weeks back. It was revealed earlier this week that comic book writer Todd McFarlane has signed a licensing agreement with WWE, which will produce the first ever WWE limited edition collectible statues, starting with The Undertaker. Now, this is very interesting. I love collectible shit that's, going to be valuable years down the line. So listen to this. The statues will feature both legends and current superstars and will be designed and developed by McFarlane and his McFarlane Toy Design Group. The Undertaker statue will be limited to just 850 pieces and will be available to purchase for $295 on December 6th on the McFarlane Toys online store and WWE shop. Each statue will be numbered and will come with a certificate of authenticity hand-signed by McFarlane. So if you guys are into collecting the highly collectible WWE action figures, this one should be right up your alley. I don't know if $300 price tag is worth it. I would have to see it for myself first to actually decide on if that price tag is worth it. But if it's going to be a collectible and it's going to start off with The Undertaker, it's going to be very valuable if it's all boxed up in mint condition. And obviously you got those collectors out there who drop a ton of money on these old WWE action figures that are absolutely in mint condition. So like I said, if you guys are into the action figures, this may be right up your alley. We have news on Vince McMahon and The Ultimate Warrior. Now, you guys know that The Ultimate Warrior is in WWE 2K14. If you pre-order the game, which I have not done yet, but I will be featuring it heavily on this channel, I will be doing a walkthrough of the WWE 30 Years of WrestleMania mode, so look forward to that in just a couple of weeks. Just letting you guys know, dropping the bomb already, okay? But Vince McMahon and The Ultimate Warrior had a meeting in Los Angeles right before SummerSlam weekend. There continues to be a lot of talk within WWE about the Warrior being inducted into the 2014 Hall of Fame. Another name still being discussed is D-Generation X, which would enter the Hall of Fame as an entire group as well in 2014. DX was discussed for the 2013 class, but that was nixed when Bruno Sammartino agreed to be inducted. WWE sees DX as its ace in the hole, and if they can't get the Warrior for 2014, they just may go with D-Generation X. DX belongs in the Hall of Fame, yes. Ultimate Warrior belongs in the Hall of Fame, yes. It would be great to see them both go in at the same time, but I honestly do see the Ultimate Warrior finally getting into the Hall of Fame this year. He is on speaking terms. He is on good terms again with Vince McMahon after the 2K14 WWE game thing. And, congratulations to him. It's been a long time coming. I was a big fan of the Ultimate Warrior growing up, as I'm sure all you guys were. So it's going to be great to see him back on WWE TV in some way, shape, or form. It's going to be great seeing him on stage, take the WWE Hall of Fame, and be presented his ring. It's going to be a special moment because it's been a long time in the waiting for the Ultimate Warrior, Jim Hellwig. The latest word on John Cena's rehab is that it's going very well, and while he will be making special appearances at Northeast WWE Live events in December, do not expect him to wrestle. He is simply there for the breast cancer awareness for the Susan G. Komen Fund, and he is actually on his way back to the WWE. They're aiming at a Royal Rumble setup for John Cena. He should be back at 100% for the Royal Rumble, and he will be ready to go for WrestleMania 30 without question. That's what the WWE wants to have happen with John Cena. There's also talk about repackaging Drew McIntyre and breaking him away from 3MB. I hate 3MB. I think they're a joke. I hate Jinder Mahal and that other clown. I can't even remember his fucking name. Heath Slater. I mean, those guys. I mean, it's just filler for WWE TV, and I hate WWE filler when it's on TV like that. It's just pathetic. Like Santino Marella, I can't stand it. And I'm being honest with you as a wrestling fan. Seeing those guys in the ring and do their fucking shtick, it just makes me sometimes embarrassed to watch wrestling in front of my friends. You know, because that's not what wrestling is to me. You know, I want serious characters. I hate the joke around characters like Santino. Drew McIntyre does not belong in that group. Drew McIntyre, if you guys remember, was the Intercontinental Champion. He was a hired gun by Vince McMahon. He was the prodigal son of Vince McMahon. He was the next chosen one by Vince McMahon. Drew McIntyre needs to be repackaged. He needs to be given his old gimmick, the Scottish, that Scottish tough guy who's just all, no fucking bullshit. Just go out there and just beat people up, and that's it. You know, be vicious about it. Make him a fucking heel like Randy Orton, and that's gonna get him over. That's the kind of Drew McIntyre I want to see. I really enjoyed Drew McIntyre's gimmick when he was on WWE TV regularly. When he had the Intercontinental title. So hopefully they do away with him being in 3MB and they repackage him, because it's been, again, a long time coming for McIntyre. He's a great wrestler. He has the look of a WWE superstar. He can break away from there and be successful on his own. He doesn't need 3MB. So hopefully WWE goes through with that. After suffering a hamstring injury during a run-in at a live event on August 31st, Mark Henry's first exam with doctors said the injury wasn't serious, so he was cleared to wrestle. Henry's follow-up with the doctors revealed more problems, and he's been gone ever since. There is no word yet on when he will return. Henry is scheduled for a follow-up with doctors at the end of October. That sucks for Mark Henry because he came back. He was in the midst of another massive heel push. He had that thing with John Cena that was out of this world, fucking awesome. And now all of a sudden he's off TV. They try to make him a face. They try to pair him with the Big Show. They try to feud him with the Shield. Nothing worked. He'll be out to the end of October. He's going to get some doctor's advice on what to do. He may be out for the rest of the year. I don't know, but it sucks to be Mark Henry right now. That's a shame, as everything was, again, gelling for him. He just signed a new contract. He was on TV regularly. And, like I said, it sucks for Mark Henry because when he's a heel, he's one of the best acts on WWE TV, without question. His heel work is phenomenal. But I really think he lost steam when they made him a face. So hopefully, he gets everything cleared up. He's healthy. He gets back fast. And, they bring him back as a heel again because that's where he truly shines. Dusty Rhodes is known for going out and cutting promos and doing everything on his own without a script. And that's exactly what happened at the end of Monday Night Raw on September 30th. The part where Dusty Rhodes cut Stephanie McMahon off and gave her a facepalm when she started talking was not part of the script. Stephanie had no idea it was coming, and she was not happy about it at all. I just figured I'd let you guys know that. I did not know that until I read the story this week, but that's kind of funny. I don't know why he would do that to Stephanie McMahon. She is the boss, so I found that rather funny when I read that about Dusty Rhodes. But, it's nice to go off script sometimes when it enhances the angle or the promo. But, something like that, if you're just going to aggravate the boss's daughter, in this case Stephanie McMahon, Dusty Rhodes should really just keep with the script from now on. Despite their recent wins, WWE Creative is looking at breaking up the Real Americans, the team of Jack Swagger and Antonio Cesaro. WWE has been featuring Cesaro and his giant swing move. The idea is that the giant swing is a babyface spot, so they're looking at possibly getting Cesaro to turn face. I do not know about that. I'm not sure if that's going to go over well. Another guy that plays the heel character perfectly is Cesaro. He is fit for a heel right now. I really would not turn him face, but this is the WWE we're talking about. I don't know what's going through their head right now. I say break Cesaro away from Jack Swagger. Get him back into the mid-card. Build him up again after you ruined him with that fucking yodeling gimmick. and then just build him up from there and put him in, a mid-card, championship feud. Feud him with whoever. I don't know. He could be a world heavyweight champion. He can be world heavyweight champion on SmackDown. Imagine him and Sandow going at it. Actually, you know what? Cesaro as a face against Sandow the heel would not be a fucking bad match at all, but I don't know how well the fans would take to Antonio Cesaro being a face. Let me know what you guys think. Do you want to see Cesaro as a face or a heel? I think he would work better as a heel. Guys like Cesaro who have that just clear-cut heel persona, it's very tough for me to see him as a face. Just like The Miz. I never seen The Miz as a face. The Miz is a dick. He's got that dick attitude. He came from reality TV. Everyone put him down. He was a fucking scrub on the WWE roster. Worked his ass off. Became cocky. Eventually won the WWE Championship. And I was one of the biggest Miz supporters. I bought his t-shirts. I bought several t-shirts of The Miz. When he finally won that WWE Championship, cashing in his Money in the Bank, I remember exactly where I was and what I was doing. I was actually falling asleep. When The Miz won that WWE Championship, I popped up like, what the fuck just happened? This is fucking fantastic television. The Miz is a clear-cut heel. So is Cesaro. So is Henry. So are guys like Sandow. I believe Dolph Ziggler is a clear-cut heel. I don't know about turning Cesaro face. Let me know what you guys think. That's just my opinion on that. Speaking of Dolph Ziggler was originally scheduled to get a beatdown by Randy Orton and then destroyed by the Shield in that 10-man tag on September 23rd, Monday Night Raw. The spot was changed, and that spot went to Rob Van Dam, reportedly for not signing the new contract, according to the Wrestling Observer and Dave Meltzer. Now, RVD didn't want to sign the new contract for the next 3 months, and apparently he got punished for it. But putting Dolph Ziggler in that, why? So you bury him some more? He doesn't need to be buried. You need to be building Ziggler up. He's one of the best wrestlers on the roster. You don't feed him to the Shield. You don't feed him to Randy Orton. I understand RVD, and that's the way WWE gets back at their guys for not doing what they want them to do. Just throw them out on TV and just get them, completely destroyed by a top guy in the company like Randy Orton and the Shield. But that's apparently what was supposed to happen. Ziggler was supposed to be in for that beatdown from Randy Orton and the Shield. It reportedly went to RVD because he did not sign the extension on his contract for the next 3 months. There's been talk about giving Wade Barrett a push and repackaging him. Officials are considering bringing him back with the Bad News Barrett gimmick that can be seen on the JBL and Cole show. Now, I don't have much to say about this story. I am a big fan of Wade Barrett. I was a big fan of Wade Barrett when he was with Chris Jericho and finally coming up onto the WWE roster. I was an even bigger fan of Wade Barrett when he was leader of the Nexus. He carried himself incredibly well for such a young guy, and being put in such a big angle with John Cena and being the leader of the Nexus with that whole Nexus invasion, that was beautifully done. Something we'll never forget on Monday Night Raw when they just completely destroyed John Cena and the entire WWE set. Wade Barrett was the key to that entire angle. And him and his mic skills, they only got better. The man can talk, the man can wrestle. But I don't know what this Bad News Barrett gimmick is on the JBL show. If you guys actually watch the JBL and Cole show on WWE.com or YouTube.com, wherever that show actually airs, let me know what the gimmick is because I never heard of it before. But Barrett needs to be on WWE TV. He needs to be in a major angle. He needs to have a championship belt around his waist because he is one of the future pieces to the company. And I'm tired of seeing guys like Wade Barrett being held back. I'm tired of seeing guys like Dolph Ziggler being held back. This is the future, people. Wade Barrett, Curtis Axel, Dolph Ziggler. These guys are your future. Cesaro. Barrett deserves better. He's just been floundering around for the last 3 years. Doing what? Absolutely nothing. So hopefully we see him back on TV with a decent gimmick this time. So hopefully WWE goes and does that correctly. With RVD expected to be written off television within the next week due to his contract, like I've been mentioning in this News and Rumors this week, an angle has been discussed where his current manager, Ricardo Rodriguez, turns on Rob Van Dam and goes back to Alberto Del Rio. We all knew that was coming. We all knew that was possibly talked about. If it happens, I would not be surprised. It was teased that Paul Heyman wanted to marry Ryback after being saved at Night of Champions on Monday's Raw this week. Instead, Heyman proposed that he became the latest Paul Heyman guy. Vince McMahon was actually behind a shock tactic taking place on the program, as he made it clear to the members of the writing staff that they feature a spectacle to lure viewers of ESPN's Monday Night Football away during halftime. An unnamed creative writer that pitched the idea of teasing Heyman asking Ryback his hand in marriage. Now, I really didn't expect Paul Heyman to propose to Ryback in marriage. I knew it. I figured it was going to be something along the lines of him being a new Paul Heyman guy. But Vince McMahon and his just shock value on things, I mean, he gets a kick out of that. He finds that to be funny. I mean, I really didn't care for all that. I don't want Paul Heyman to be this, this little fairy type character. He's got to be serious. I don't want him like all sweet and kissing Ryback on the cheek. I don't like that. I just don't like that at all. Paul Heyman's got to get serious, down to business with Ryback. He's got CM Punk in his rearview mirror. And CM Punk did an amazing job on Monday Night Raw, by the way. I legitimately thought he was hurt. I thought, CM Punk is injured. What the fuck's going on here? I actually got up from laying down on my couch to be like, is this real? I was actually getting ready to tweet you guys on Twitter, what the fuck's going on here? Is CM Punk really hurt? And then all of a sudden he starts hopping around on his leg. CM Punk is a fucking fantastic actor. That's why he is the best in the world. But Paul Heyman's guy, Ryback, CM Punk, Battleground. I do expect CM Punk to finally get one over on Ryback and completely end this feud. I think this feud needs to be ended, and CM Punk needs to be positioned back in the WWE title picture. So we'll see what happens at Battleground. Monday's Raw rating was one of the worst figures in the last 15 years, a 2.68 cable TV rating with an average of 3.5 million viewers over the course of the show. There are people within WWE spectating that Vince McMahon will resurface on TV sooner rather than later. Original creative plans call for the chairman to return sometime in November. Vince McMahon on TV is only a good thing. Okay? That's only a good thing. A few people high up in the WWE are pushing for a Randy Orton versus CM Punk WWE Championship match at WrestleMania 30, according to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter. I am not for that at all. I do not want to see that match at WrestleMania at all. I already told you in the beginning of the show this week that I want to see CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. Randy Orton, he can fucking fight John Cena for all I care. I don't know. I don't think Randy Orton needs to be in the WWE Championship picture going into WrestleMania. I don't want to see CM Punk versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan is your money match. That's what I'm going with right now. That's what I'm predicting to happen. I think that is the absolute best route for WWE Creative to go right now. I think Orton versus Punk for the title is a mistake. It's still too early, but right now I think the best scenario would be Punk versus Bryan. This Sunday at WWE Battleground, Cody Rhodes and Goldust will look to not only regain their jobs, but also save their fathers when they battle the team of Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Regarding Goldust's contract status with WWE, he has signed a short-term deal. I'm glad Goldust is back. I always enjoyed his character, whether it's a face or a heel, or whether he was being comedic with Booker T. I always enjoyed Goldust on WWE TV. There's also news on Dustin Rhodes. There's a feeling that WWE will keep Dustin Rhodes around through WrestleMania 30, and they may finally do the Cody Rhodes versus Goldust match that both sides have wanted to do for the last 2 years. Absolutely phenomenal. I would love to see that happen at WrestleMania. It would only make WrestleMania 30 an even better show for the undercard. Dustin versus Cody is best for business, believe me. And I know you guys want to see that too. That would be a fucking great match, because those two guys, the two brothers, can absolutely go in the ring. Imagine what they could do together. It would be great for WrestleMania. And I have no voice because I was yelling at the Braves game all night. I have no voice, and I got this last piece of news for you guys. As seen on Monday Night Raw for the past 2 weeks, WWE has started to introduce Stephanie McMahon as the WWE owner when she comes out. This is being done to set up a future angle between Stephanie and Vince McMahon, likely where Vince is the babyface. I really didn't notice that at all. Let me know if you guys noticed that at all from Justin Roberts and him introducing Stephanie McMahon as the owner of the WWE. I don't really recall hearing that, but that's what the news article said. And Vince, obviously, we know is going to be feuding with Steph and Triple H going into WrestleMania. There should be no surprise there on that. But that is the end of this week's show, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Once again, I apologize for not doing Monday Night Raw. I should have Battleground immediately following the pay-per-view, live review of the pay-per-view for Sunday night, rather. And then Monday Night Raw, I will be back on Tuesday to follow Monday Night Raw after the pay-per-view. So, guys, stick here to JD's channel for your WWE news. Battleground on Sunday, Monday Night Raw on Monday. I will be back for both shows and give you a review on both shows. I'm out, guys. Take care. I will see you all after Battleground on Sunday. This is JD, guys. I'll talk to you soon.